I have three ways that you can check to see if something is cruelty free before you buy it. So I'm going to do an interview actually after this for my show. So I figured I would delve into something really important about cruelty free living and choosing products that are cruelty free. So there are a lot of ways one can tell if things are cruelty free, and some of them are pretty easy. But then there's also stuff that happens that makes it hard because marketing can be sneaky. And companies who are trying to, gain the support of cruelty free consumers find ways to certify their products as cruelty free when that's maybe not the case. Of all their ingredients might not actually be cruelty free. So I have three ways that you can check to see if something is cruelty free before you buy it or if it's in your house. So here goes number one. The really easy way is to look for any of these logos. And I literally printed this out to share. These four logos are the most common logos. These are actually third parties that are their sole purpose is to certify products as cruelty free. This one is probably the most common that you'll notice because of the pink. But these two right here, this one and that one, those are almost on everything that I use. So you might not notice them that much, but all four of them are very common and you'll see them a lot. You might only notice this one because it's cuter. And these are kind of a little bit more abstract, so you might not notice what they are. These are all bunnies because in the animal testing world, bunnies tend to be the ones that suffer the most. That they're not the only ones. There are plenty of dogs that are used, small mammals like chinchillas and hamsters and obviously guinea pigs. So it's not just bunnies, but bunnies tend to be like the universal symbol of something being cruelty free. The only reason I printed these out, and it's that I'm like that, I'm making that big of a deal about these particular icons or these particular logos, is because there are companies out there that like create a logo for themselves and put it on there. And that is not a good way to know if something is cruelty free, because there's no third party with no interest other than the animal's interest testing that or checking that. So look for only these companies or these organizations. Choose cruelty free is this one, is the more abstract, this one and this one. And then there's Leaping Bunny. Leaping Bunny is very common. That's Leaping Bunny certified. And then there's Beauty Without Bunnies is this one. Okay. And then the other way that you can do your due diligence before buying stuff is to go on websites. So I got this logo from The Ethical Elephant. It's ethicalelephant.com. Really cool website, like really, really good website. So ethicalelephant.com. It's like, so much information. I really like that website because it does all the homework for you. So there's no excuse there. And then the third way is apps. There are so many apps out there. So Leaping Bunny has an app. That's the little cute pink bunny ears over here. Leaping Bunny has an app. That's an easy one. So you literally just put it in when you're at Target and you find out if it's cruelty free or not. Choose Cruelty Free apparently has an app. I've never used it. PETA does some certifying, and PETA has an app too. I do not recommend PETA. PETA is problematic in the pet world. PETA, from my understanding, believes that pets that are kept as companion animals are enslaved, and they would actually, in many cases, prefer to see a pet die than be adopted out to a family that will love it and care for it. So PETA is not for me. Do your research, make that choice for yourself. I just have seen way too many controversial situations with PETA, so I do not support them in any way. But they do have an app if that's the only thing that works for you, or if you're a big PETA fan. But just be careful with PETA. So definitely don't be fooled by any like random bunny pictures. Like start to recognize these particular logos, and they're in everything. Like they really are. If you went into your medicine cabinet or your makeup bag right now, you'd probably find at least one thing that has one of these bunnies on it. And it's really important to like choose properly and make sure that you're doing that little bit of a check or your due diligence, and just do what you can when you can. But also keep in mind that not every single product in these lines that are cruelty free may have the little like icon. Like I have used Arbonne, and Arbonne, not every single individual container has the like icon on it because the brand is cruelty free. So for whatever reason, they don't put it on every single jar or bottle. But once you get to know the brands, then you know that like this brand is cruelty free and you don't have to look for the icons. But it's usually when you're shopping for something and you don't know what it is that you want to take a look for these icons or use an app. And if you want to really dig into this whole thing, Ethical Elephant is amazing. I mean, there's an article that I just caught my eye that is about like the recent changes in the law on animal testing in China. And I don't want to get too in the weeds on this, but a lot of products that say that they're cruelty free are cruelty free because they do not test on animals, but that doesn't mean that they don't pay for third party animal testing. So for me, that is not a cruelty free brand. And a lot of companies that enter the Chinese market become a non-cruelty free brand because in order to sell any kind of product in China, my understanding is that it has to be tested on animals before it's made available on the market. So if there's a brand, let's say, God, I don't know, I'll just say California Baby because I love those products. I don't know if they sell in China, but if they were to want to enter the Chinese market, maybe they're just in the United States. If they want to sell in China, they have to pay for a third party to do animal testing before they're allowed to put it on Chinese shelves. So there is the problem where you don't actually know if something is cruelty free unless you do kind of your due diligence and make sure that they're not doing that. And there are levels of cruelty free. For you, it might be like, so long as, the company itself isn't testing, then I'm good. But for me, if the company is paying somebody else to test, they're still testing. So there's some, kind of, I guess, nuances there. But the cruelty-free apps, the Leaping Bunny app is a great resource for that because I do think they take that into consideration. So when you're looking at an app, that's a good one. I will put the link for the Ethical Elephant in comments in case somebody like wants to just link to it immediately. What a wealth of information that is. Like, wow. Back in the day, the only website like that existed when I started this journey was Cruelty Free Bunny. And I think it was just an individual, and she was awesome. And now there's so many different options, and there's so many people jumping on this bandwagon, and which is why it can become a little bit messy because not everybody's really truly educated or informed in what it means to be cruelty free or what levels there are or what certifications exist. I will add that if you're looking for vegan products, there's an icon with a little daisy that says vegan on it. So that's a certification that means that all of the ingredients in that product are vegan. So that's important to some people. So I wanted to mention that as well. So I hope that this was helpful to you, and I will see you next week. And I will bring more products so we can talk about them. But I figured between last week and this week, we get an education. Thanks again for watching, and be well. Bye.